Must have taken hours of deboning this dish.
Well, obviously not enough.
Traditionally, July is the month for jam making, an activity I certainly wouldn't want to miss out on. Well, welcome to my fruit garden. Isn't it pathetic? A measly total of 7 blackcurrants on this bush. All I've been able to do with it is make a few cups of blackcurrant leaf tea. Refreshing, but not a lot of consolation for a completely failed harvest. This is a little bit more like it. This is a proper, grown-up blackcurrant bush. At Ford Abbey Fruit Farm, a group of students from Eastern Europe have come for the picking season as casual labour. I've struck a deal with the management. I can join the pickers for a day and be paid in fruit. Strict quality controls apply, and Dave the foreman is on raspberry patrol.
I'm going to show you what fruit to pick and what not to pick. The thing is, we're picking class 1 fruit for supermarkets, so you've got to make sure that you've got a nice pink fruit, and as you pick it, it comes off, it feels firm in the hand. What you can actually do, if you look at the fruit like that, make sure there's no marks on it, okay? And nice and pink. That
So
goes into those trays.
I have to inspect each one individually.
Yeah, it's preferred.
So what is the rule about eating while you pick?
You can eat them if you want.
That's all right, is it?
Yeah, the overripe ones.
Okay.
Not too many of the ripe.
Luckily, anything that I'd call a ripe raspberry is far too juicy for the supermarkets, so I get to scoff it. I've filled 2 whole trays with raspberries, but before the weigh-in, I ask my comrades Svetlana and Dacia to cast their expert eyes over my bulging punnets.
Very bad.
It's very bad?
Yes. Bad. What is this?
That one should never got in. No, okay, forget that one.
This is too much red.
Okay, that's too unripe.
What is this?
What's wrong with that?
Oh, no. It's not good. You can eat.
Okay.
No.
Don't throw them all away. Please, girls, leave me some.
No, no, no.
Oh, I have to pick some more now.
Yes. You must pick full box.
Well, that's because you threw half of them away. Right, well, I'm off to see Dave. Wish me luck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good weight.
Yeah, borderline quality.
Borderline?
Yeah, but they're okay.
I'm being paid in fruit, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah, we've been told. Thanks very much.
Last off the field with my fruit quota, I almost missed the tractor back to camp and the chance of another free meal.
Thank you.
Back at base, there are bellies to fill. And on kitchen detail, Oksana and Natasha have been busy making a Ukrainian borщ.
Is it ready? That's what I want to know. Yeah? Can I have a taste?
Please.
Beautiful taste. Sweet. So what exactly is in that?
Chicken, potato, carrot, beetroot, and water, and tomato.
It's incredibly tasty.
We know.
You know?
Yes.
Confident cooks. I'm hoping that they're not going to get too bloated on borщ, because I'm in charge of the pudding. And what I've decided to do is use some of the blackcurrants that I picked. But there's one little sentimental thing I have to do before I go on with this dish. This is the River Cottage crop. There's only 7 of them, but they mean an awful lot to me. Next to blackcurrants, I've been cooking a custard. This is a real egg custard. Real eggs, real cream. It's still quite warm. I wanted to cool off because it's going to be cold custard, warm blackcurrant syrup, and there's one third element that brings this whole thing together. A little bit ambitious perhaps for a campsite kitchen. It has to be done at the last possible moment, so I'm going to come back to it a bit later on.
The borщ gets a good dollop of sour cream before being served up to the workers in our luxurious collective canteen.
You have more than me.
Oh,
You have a much bigger bowl. No, it's okay. It's good, eh?
Yeah.
The final stage of pudding is fluffy meringue islands to float on my custard sea. They're flavoured with a dash of strong coffee, which goes beautifully with blackcurrants. The meringue is then shaped into oval mounds or quenelles using 2 tablespoons. and the islands are poached in a pan of gently simmering water.
And we need some more. Whoa!
After a couple of minutes, they puff up beautifully and are carefully placed on a pool of the cooled custard. The floating islands are decorated with a drizzle of the sieved, sweetened blackcurrants, and the final touch, a handful of fat raspberries.
Oh, it looks very pretty.
Preparing pud for 20 hungry pickers has cost me half my fruit wages, so my jam making plans will just have to wait.
Що робить, тоді я не знав, та кохав, нестримно кохав. Яно, ти кохана дівчина моя, разом будемо з тобою, тільки ти і я. Будемо кохатися все життя, будемо поруч я і ти, тільки трохи підрости.
Early morning, and the latest River Cottage project is making a home for the next incoming livestock.
It's serious fox country round here, so when you're building a chicken run, there's no half measures. I've got 6 foot of chicken wire here, which should just about keep them from jumping over. But foxes are also great burrowers. So about every 8 inches along here, I've been hammering in tent pegs, which I hope is going to keep them out. I'm heeding an old Dorset saying, dead chickens don't lay eggs.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Frank Biddlecombe has a way with animals and keeps a small holding of lambs, geese and goats. But I'm here strictly on fowl business.
So how many eggs a day do you get off these?
I get 13 a day of them.
Of how many chickens?
13.
Really? So that's
Yeah,
one
egg.
chicken, 1 egg per day?
Per day.
Guaranteed?
Well, I don't know about that. Don't guarantee anything in this trade.
Right. What are the possible complications I should look out for?
Sometimes you get egg bounce.
What's that mean?
When you get like constipated.
Oh right, they can't get the egg
Can't
out.
get the egg out.
So what do I have to do to sort that out?
Give it some cod raw or something.
Cod liver oil?
Yeah, in with the food. And
It slips out a treat
yeah, it
after
makes it come out freely.
Apparently, Rhode Island Reds are the most reliable layers, but you've got to catch them first.
It's hot in there.
I couldn't resist grabbing 3 pretty-looking bantams as well, taking my tally of layers to 6. But if I want to prevent my flock from flying away, I'll have to learn how to clip their wings.
I'll clip over about that much.
Just the ends there?
Just the ends.
Is that all right?
Yep. Just along there.
They don't mind that?
No.
Doesn't seem to bother her.
No, not bottom. Around on the ends. If you cut back in here, see, you get right in tight there, you get the blood.
Right, so it's just the ends there?
Just the ends. You'll be right.
That'll stop her getting over the top. Just the
Yeah,
one wing?
Just the one wing. When they take off, they go round sideways.
Flies in circles?
Going in circles.
Okay.
With a bevy of good-looking birds in tow, it's back to River Cottage.
Well, I'm really thrilled with my birds, and I'm very excited at the prospect of having my own eggs. But I am beginning to think I might have got a little bit carried away. If I'm going to have 6 eggs 7 days a week, then I'm going to have to start thinking of some seriously eggy recipes. Chick, 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 chicken, lay a little egg for me. Chick, 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 chicken, I want one for my tea.
The next morning, it's straight out to see if my girls are delivering the goods.
Anyone fancy coming out? Yes. Why not? Now, any chance of an egg this morning? Yes! Fantastic. Now that's one of you little ladies. Look at that. Look at that. My first egg. Yes.
What a morning. Not only my first egg, but my first courgette. It feels like my first million.
My first creation using river cottage produce is going to be a 1 courgette, 1 egg soufflé.
The sliced courgette is gently cooked in olive oil and hot milk is poured onto a roux of butter and flour to make a bechamel sauce. Vigorous stirring avoids the dreaded lumps.
I guess I've probably cracked tens of thousands of eggs in my life, but none with such eager anticipation as this one. Wow, look at the colour of that yolk. That is lovely.
The courgette is softening up nicely while I whisk the egg white. Then the pulpy courgette is combined with the bechamel, the egg yolk and a handful of grated cheddar to create a nice sticky mixture. The key to a light and fluffy soufflé is maximum air, so the egg white is briskly but carefully folded in. The mixture is then placed in a ramekin dish greased with butter and lined with a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. It's cooked in a hot oven for 15 minutes.
Well, if this is a taste of things to come, it's going to be a fantastic harvest.
Thanks, girls.